the high-tech nomad here, and I have to first start off by modifying my somewhat clickbaity statement saying Gear S3 for Verizon users. It is that, but I have to qualify that, and I'll explain to you what I'm saying. So here's the thing I was thinking about earlier today. I said, I'm a Verizon user. I want the Gear S3. It's not available on the Verizon network for whatever reason. I wonder, can I use a T-Mobile version with my Verizon phone? And I'm going to show you. The quick answer is yes. Okay? And there is one caveat. There's only one thing that is going to be different than if Verizon had offered it, and that is that when you make a call out, it's going to show a different number, but I can tell you even how to get around that. So let's first talk about what the Gear S3, what it's doing and what the magic is. All right, so the Gear S3, as we know, it runs on Bluetooth and it runs on LTE. So that means we can use it with our phone, but we're also supposed to be able to use it when our phone is not available. So, and that's what got me thinking, because the first thing that I noticed, I just ran up the stairs. I'm trying to get this out on the internet. I know people have been going nuts all day trying to figure this out. The first thing I noticed when somebody else was doing a video earlier on is I noticed that under the Gear software, so if you've had a Gear watch before, you know that the Gear software, you load that from Samsung, and I actually have the Gear S2 and a couple other things, and you can have multiple devices tied to your phone. But when I saw somebody do this earlier, I noticed it said call forwarding, and then it had a phone number in there. And that's what got me thinking. I was like, well, wait a minute. If all that is call forwarding, it doesn't make a difference where my watch is. Meaning, is it a watch? Is it from T-Mobile? Is it AT&T? It doesn't make any difference. So, and that is quite correct. So what happens is I bought the watch, got it all, it loaded the Gear software. That part's the same. Nothing is different. I went into the call forwarding. I put the new number that T-Mobile gave me. I put that number in the call forwarding, and presto changeo. When I get too far away from there, the call forwarding automatically turns on, and calls that come in are automatically diverted to the watch. When I get back closer, it turns off the call forwarding. Boom. So that's fine and dandy. So that means anybody who's calling me is calling my number. It comes out on there. So that's that part of it. So then the next part of it, I said, well, how's it going to get? Do I have to set up my email? Do I have to set up my text messages? And the more and more I thought of it, it's like, they can't do all that. The Gear software does all that for you. What it does is when you go out of the house, you leave your phone on. So, and in fact, there's a little, where is it? Under Gear Connection, there is and it's off by default. Who knows why? But there's a connection. There's a connection. It says remote connect. It says use your Samsung account to connect to your Gear remotely via mobile data or Wi-Fi. So what that means is this: when I leave the house, I leave the phone on. The screen doesn't have to be on, but the phone has to physically be on. Any messages that come in go up to my Samsung account and then come back down onto my watch. It's that simple. Any emails that come in, go up there, come down here. When I respond, they come up here, they come back down. So that's how it's doing all that. So you got everything that you want. All your notifications will come through. All of your email will come through. All of your text messages will come through, because it's just data. It couldn't care less. It doesn't care that you're on Verizon, that this is on T-Mobile and this is on Verizon. It couldn't care less. So it works, and I've now had it for like 4 hours. I just came back in. I made purchases with the Samsung Pay. Now, the way the Samsung Pay works, same deal. When you actually click that, it actually loads a different version of Samsung Pay than you might normally be used to. And it asks me to re-register one of my cards, which I did. But then after that, boom, same thing. Now, I don't know what would have happened had my phone been off, but I can tell you I went to the local Walgreens and I used my phone to make several purchases. I know they thought I was crazy because I kept coming to the register, buying something, coming back, buying something, coming back, buying something. But in any event, worked just fine. So now we have the Samsung Pay. That works fine. And then all of the other features that you would expect to work do work. Things like I can transfer music to it. It's blah, blah, blah. It's weatherproof, blah, blah, blah. So now the only thing that in my opinion is different from doing it this way is when I call out, people see the new number that T-Mobile gave me. Okay? So there's two things that you can do. One is live with it. I already told my friends, I said, here's my second number. Don't call this number. Just add it to my contact piece so that when I call you, it shows up and says it's a call from me. They all said, got it, no problem. The second thing you can do is in the watch itself, you can actually tell it to not show your phone number when you call somebody. So if you want to be Mr. Creepy, that's fine. So you can call somebody, it's not going to show your number, so you can avoid that confusion if you wish. And again, you don't have to do anything different from text messages, because the text messages aren't sent from this number. The text messages go up to the cloud, come down to the phone. Go up to the cloud, come down to the watch. So the only thing is when you call out, with that, you're going to see the other number. Now, the other reason I went with the T-Mobile solution for me is that it's more in my opinion, it's more GSM friendly. And so what I'm hoping, and you'll have to wait for the update, when I go to Europe, since this is an eSIM, I should be able to add this. And I bought the watch outright, so they'll give me the eSIM number. I should be able to take this eSIM number and use it over there. That's my hope and dream, but hey, if it doesn't, I've handled everything else. So again, what I could do when I'm over there is, again, if the phone's in my pocket, I can do everything right from here. I can still use Samsung Pay. It'll just be talking and getting its Wi-Fi through the phone this way. So that's fine and dandy. But I'm hoping that my goal one day is to just take this when I go to Europe and I'm going out for the night. I'm going to have a good time, and I don't want to take my phone with me, but I want to make sure I'll be able to pay, and I can text people, and they can text me, and I can make phone calls, and I can call. This has Uber's one of the apps on it that I'll be able to do that. So, having said that, all you people who are jonesing, hoping to get the Gear S3 for your Verizon phone, now you can do it. As long as you can live with that one thing, you're fine and dandy. T-Mobile just made the price of the watch plus probably another $200 or $300 a year. I got like insurance and I got extra this, that, and the other, and so on and so forth, just because I wanted to make sure I'm all set. I think I'm covered. If a walrus comes up and bites my arm off, they still have to replace the watch or whatever. But that's money that Verizon could have had. I like Verizon. I'm not knocking them, other than the fact that I don't know why they were dragging their feet on getting the watch out, because now that you know that you can use the T-Mobile one, I'm guessing that a lot of people on Twitter and Facebook and everybody who's been complaining that you want the watch are going to run out tomorrow and get the T-Mobile version, knowing that it works. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to email me. It's info@thehightechnomad.com. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. I've actually even talked to a couple of you. Have no problem with that. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. All right. I went out and did this as a test, and in fact, had it not work and I needed to return it, I would have been out $75 because that's T-Mobile's return fee. But I didn't. And now you don't have to worry about that. So at least hit the like button. Hopefully hit the subscribe button. Have a great time. Enjoy your watch. I'm going out. And from now on, I'm just taking this. This is the High Tech Nomad signing out.